Hi, Kevin from the Awareness.website, and here we are with the next continuing Classroom Classics video. And in this video we're going to be working on the second Strum the Paper or Play the Paper in the set and the last left brush knee in the brush knee sequence. It may seem like repetition, going over the same move again, but I'm going to give you a few other things to work with, a little different concept to work with on this move that can also be applied to the rest of the moves. So without further ado, let's get to it. Now, some of you may know Strum the Paper. A paper is a Chinese lute or a Chinese guitar. Now, this is not a paper, this is a ukulele. We're thinking of renaming this move to Strum the Ukulele, but maybe some people won't get that, so we'll stick with paper. But for demonstration purposes, we've got a ukulele. So, strumming the paper, the way that you hold the paper is kind of up like this, and you pick it with a little wooden pick, and then the neck is up here. So, strumming the paper is your hands are in that kind of a position. So if your hands are right together, you're not going to be able to play that paper. And if they're tipped like this, so you want to get the hands in the right position when you do Strum the Paper, to hold your paper. So whether that's a historical note or not, I don't know, but it just gives you an idea of where that term comes from, strumming the paper. So I'm going to drop the ukulele and we'll get back into a few other things here. Now, I said earlier that we're going to open up with a few more, a different concept, a couple of different ideas to throw in there. Usually I don't talk about them, until later on when people are getting a little more progress with their Tai Chi. But I think this idea really helps a lot in terms of being able to put the moves together. And we're just looking at a comment, an email from one of our viewers, and they started with the question of how long does it take to do the set, or how long does it take me to do the set? And there's lots of variables as to what determines how long the set can take. But then he went on to some other things, and it's a very interesting self-discovery for this viewer. They practice by themselves, and it is really good to, it was just a great little comment about what he's been going through and what he's discovered. And so I want to talk about some of that stuff. But just to give you an idea, the quickest set I've done is about 5 minutes, and the longest set I've done takes almost a half an hour. So depending on how you're applying yourself and how you're going through the moves, it's going to make a difference as to how the set affects the body, and how long it takes to go through it all. So we're going to give you a couple things to work with that will help to smooth out the set, I hope, smooth out the moves, smooth out the transitions between the moves. There was a common thing that we talked about in some of the classes many moons ago about pausing, and there's a tendency for people to pause during each move. And the idea that I'd like to hold on to or keep in mind as I go through the set is it's not 108 separate pieces, it's one long move with 108 parts. So you want to get the idea of going through that sequence continuously, so there's constant movement throughout the set, no stopping, no pausing, and it's very interesting how that works the body, but also, as this viewer discovered, it has some benefits in terms of the meditative aspect. So you stop thinking as much and you just go through it. You just move through it and don't worry about the mistakes or anything like that. And really, when you're working on the set, when you're going through it, generally I like to say just go through the set. If you mess up, you can fix it later. If you want to work on a move, you can do like we do in these videos, is just take a single move, and if you go through a set and you say, oh, okay, I messed up chop with fist or something like that, then you go back later and work on chop with fist by itself. And that's a great way to do it, but the set is meant to be continuous. It's a continuous application of the foundations and the principles, and to go through the sequence, and as you get more and more comfortable with it, you start to think less and less. The body is more familiar with the moves and following that flow, so it goes a lot smoother and everything starts to calm down, settle down more. The circulations start to respond better because the mental aspect's not interfering so much. So that's enough talk for now. Let's get into the moves. So we're going from left brush knee, strum the pepa, to left brush knee. Now we've talked about the spiraling, we've talked about the sitting into the hips, getting the angles and stuff. So what I want to talk about with this is the timing of opening up the arms, the timing of stepping and all that kind of thing. When you're coming from the left brush knee, the standing up part, so here you're sitting, the standing up part, when you step in and push from that leg, the arms open and you come up to the top. So everything's at the top, so then you can shift this leg and then the arms come together. The opening part here, going into the next left brush knee, is as the arms open and you're sitting, you want to time this opening with your sit. So you get to the bottom of the sit at the same time the arms finish opening. Because then as soon as that gets open, then you can put the foot out step and you're ready to go into the next part. Commonly what happens is people will step, pop, heel, hands, swing the arms, sit down, and then step, and then go. And typically when we're learning the moves, we're taught that way. We're taught piece by piece. But then with practice, it's up to us to kind of smooth it all out. So paying attention to the timing really helps to smooth that out. Again, you step, push from the leg, and the arms respond to that push and the body straightens up. Heel touches, hands come together, you high sit, and then the arms open and you start to relax into the leg a bit more, but time the arms to open as you sit so that you can step and then drop elbows, arms come through and push from the leg. Timing of this extension is the same. So the back leg and the arms extend at the same time so that the weight drops into this front leg so that you can move into the next move. So you can just pivot or half step or whatever's coming next. I'll do it facing towards you. So pay attention to the timing between each part, and that try and notice that nothing really stops moving. So here everything's opening, step, opening here, heel, hands in front, and then open, sitting down, step, and dropping elbows. So allowing everything to connect with the timing really helps work the body. Now some of you can't sit all that low maybe, so something to pay attention to is if you're not sitting as low, you still need to get the arms open. So you're still coming up here. This is a high sit, so the hands come to the front. Now the arms still have to open, so if you're not sitting that low, the arms will open up maybe a little bit quicker. But it's still the same thing. So as opposed to sitting really low and opening up, you want to open the arms, still just relaxing into the sit, so that it all connects at that same point. And if you're able to keep that foot floating, that front heel is just kind of floating as you sit, you open and get the step. As soon as you get to the bottom and the arms open, foot plants, and then you can go into the next part. So hopefully that's all making sense, but if you can start to put that sense of timing into all the moves, and of course we're going through the moves so you'll have a chance to do that, and then put that timing into the set, it will tend to slow the set down because you're paying attention, concentrating a little bit more, but the different parts of the body, there can be a different timing to it. So the sit will go so far, but the arms are having to move farther, so it's going to, the arms are going faster than what the body is doing. And then it's the same thing as coming forward. This back hand has to go from here all the way out to here, whereas this hand only goes from here down to here. So realistically, the back arm has to go faster than the front arm. So there's different timings for the limbs. And the fact that the body's only moving from here to here, the arms are different timing sense than everything else. So there's becomes a lot more to pay attention to when you're starting to focus on the timing, getting the body to turn and all that kind of stuff. So it'll tend to slow things down a little bit, especially if you're starting to sit a little bit lower, a little bit deeper. So it generally might take you 15 or so minutes to go through a set at a kind of easy pace. And you can slow it down even more and stay focused on keeping the balance in the leg. Do the real slow motion movie. And no, Shelly didn't slow that down. Or you can do it fast. You can just really get rocking with your moves so that it goes a lot quicker. So some stuff to play with, some stuff to work on. Let's do a little bit of follow along now. And I'll do it facing away so that you can practice if you're right behind me. And we'll play with the timing. So I'll talk about the timing. So we'll really pay attention to that. We'll go from the left brush knee. So extend it out, weights balanced in the left leg, the forward leg. And you're going to half step in, keep the sit, step in, stand up, open, heel, hands in front, sitting a little bit, and then separate the hands, sit some more, opening the arms as you sit, step, drop the elbows, hands in front, and express out. So finish the timing with the extension of the leg and the arm. Okay, let's do that again. The left brush knee, half step, push from the leg, stand up and open all the way to the top, put the heel down, hands in front, and then open the arms and sit and just pay attention to the timing, step, drop the elbows, hands in front, and push. Okay, one more time. Brush knee, half step, open, heel down and strum the paper, open the arms and sit some more, step, and left brush knee again. Okay, so let's do it a couple times going at an angle. Left brush knee, half step, open up, heel down, hands in front. Sit some more and open, step, and left brush knee. Okay, so we're at the left brush knee again. We're going to half step, stand up and open, heel down, hands in front, open and sit, step, drop elbows, left brush knee. And this is a sequence you can do. You can practice this just doing half step over and over and over with the strum the pepa. Half step again. Open, heel, strum the pepa. Open, go on the left brush knee. We'll do that one more time. Half step, open, heel, hands in front, open, step, left brush knee. So that's a great way to practice that move. Your right leg will get lots and lots of work. So now that we've done that, like we did in the last video, let's do a few one-legged danyus in the left leg just to balance things out. So 45 degrees, straight ahead. Now something you can pay attention to just to make sure you're keeping all the weight in your left leg. So straight on when you're up, and then when you sit down, turn to the 45. Push up, turn to the front, pointing in the same direction as your right toe. So as you sit, tap your toe. So you know there's no weight in it. It's just helping to stabilize the hips. So you don't want to be leaning forward as you, so you got weight on it. You want the weight back so that you can move this foot, but it's just lightly touching. One thing I used to tell students is imagine you're holding a mouse down by his tail. So you're just holding it light enough, you don't want to squish his tail, you just sit down, stand up, but you're just holding that mouse down. So it's just the toe is lightly touching, the heels maybe you could slide a sheet of paper under your heel. Okay, so 20 more of these and we'll be good. Okay, how about 3 more? Okay, that's 1. Yeah, I know, instructors don't know how to count, do they? 2, 3. Alright, so hopefully you feel a good burn in your left leg now. So, as always, like us on Facebook, check out our website. You may notice we've got some harps here, so these are some of the harps I make, so you can check those out on the website as well. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Take care, and we'll see you next video.